It's time for a flip through. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Rachel. I do all sorts of planner and stationery stuff here on the YouTubes, and today we are doing a tried and true planner tube staple, which is the planner flip through so far. We're gonna go through what my planner has looked like in Q1. I've been mostly in the common planner and I've been really liking it. So I'm gonna take you through what my weeks have been looking like, what my months have been looking like, what my goals have been looking like, the ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights, how it's all working together, and yeah, I hope you like this little video. Not a lot else to say, but we're gonna get into the fun now. All right. For Q1, I have been in my common planner. In this Moterm case, I recently just put up a video of me sort of filling this case with all the common stickers and things like that I used. And since that video, nothing has really changed. Let me go ahead and open this up and just give you a quick rundown, and then we'll start the flip. So as you probably saw from my Moterm cover video, I'm filling this side with most of the stickers that I use on a day-to-day basis. Lots of like small-ish stickers like this that I just like plug in my weeklies. You'll see how those are used in a second. Some functional stickers that I want to get better at using, and then some sticker sheets. Mostly that I'm just like trying to use up. Especially samplers. I like to keep samplers in here because you're just always trying to use up samplers, you know what I mean? So I keep them in here. And then this is actually a recent addition. It's a High Priestess Tarot card. I actually got it from a bar that I went to. I just thought it was kind of cool, and so I keep it in my pocket right there to add a little bit of spookiness. And then in the back, it's mostly the same, more commonly used sticker sheets like working and stuff like that, as well as a ruler, and my 3 pens. My multi-pen, my most recent Obsession, which is one of the Zig brushables, and then a Tombow Fudenosuke. So that's what I'm using. So for Q1, I have been using this planner mostly as like a catch-all and everything planner. I have not really been in my Hobonichi Weeks system very much lately, which is totally fine. I'm just jumping in and out of different things and seeing what works. I'm really trying to use the common planner as an all-in-one planner. I really started getting that itch around February, and now I'm trying to see how that works. So you'll see some experimentation and stuff in this flip through, but the first thing you see when you open my planner is this very chaotic sticky note of a cat. It's actually like a friend of mine. Their little like brand icon is like a sticky note version of their cat, or like a version of their cat, and it's on sticky notes and washi tape and stuff. But I just happen to be taking notes on this sticky note when I was in therapy, and so this page is actually a kind of personal, which is why I have it covered up, but a page just right in the front of my journal for things that sort of calm me down when I enter like a triggered state or something like that, when I am not feeling my best mentally. So this is like a list that is just right away when I open my planner that I can see and refer back to if I ever find myself in that sort of like heightened state where I need to remember certain things and tell myself certain things and find a way to calm down. So that's right when I open it up. It's super easy to find. I will probably transfer this to a more permanent location somewhere in the journal, but for now I really do like that it's like right when I open it up, I have something that I can refer back to and rely on when I'm like, you know, agitated in some way, and I need to sort of soothe myself and self-soothe. Plus the sticky note is like pretty funny. It's like hard to look at that and not be a little bit cheered up. So the rest of the common planner is what I've been spending most of my time in. This page I didn't use at all. I was thinking about just using it as like a day tracker to like chronicle how far we are through the year, and I could always come back and cross the days off or whatever, but I haven't done that yet. And that's fine. I just like having the yearly overview here. I haven't done anything with this blank 2-page spread that's between the yearly overview and then the goals page. So I haven't done anything with this yet. I may sort of vision board as part of Q2, but I'm not quite sure. By the way, this video is definitely for Q1. So we're going to be going through what I've been doing in January, February, and March in this planner, and a little bit in April that I've been in this since last time I filmed. But if you want to see how I am setting up this journal and planner for Q2 for April, May, and June, I actually just posted that video on my channel. I'll also link it up in the cards if you're curious. Go check it out because it sort of goes through how I'm trying to quarterly plan more effectively using what this planner has to offer. But yeah, right now we're just in January, February, and March. I'm going to flip the page to my goals spread. So I just want to acknowledge before I flip that my goals, one of my goals has a lot to do with like health and weight. So if for whatever reason the discussion of or seeing like weight and numbers on a piece of paper in a sort of goals format is triggering to you, please prioritize your health. I'll put a number up here on screen where you can jump to just sort of avoid conversations about that at all, but we're going to be looking at that stuff right now. So this is the goal breakdown page that has the breakdowns for 1 year, half year, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily. And so I have these 3 goals with also like a Rachelle in Theory section for this channel. So with Rachelle in Theory, I'm covering up a few other sticky notes that I have just added here because there's some surprises. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, so I'm just keeping those under wraps, but some cool stuff is still definitely in the works. Basically, I just want to build this channel up into an online community where we can all engage with each other like we are now. So yeah, love you guys. The other 3 goals are going pretty well, with the exception of one of them. So first of all, health and wellness absolutely is going amazingly. I've started working with this trainer through an app called Copilot. I'm not sponsored, but Copilot, if you're watching, I love your stuff. Please sponsor me. I definitely do really appreciate Copilot because it's sort of like you work with a trainer who just assigns you workouts. And I found that the biggest barrier to me starting to move my body more was just not knowing what to do or the correct way to do it. So having that is super helpful. I have loose, pound goals here, which is fine for me. I think I'm not quite achieving those like losing, 0.5 pounds per week kind of thing, or losing 2.5 pounds per month. I'm not quite achieving those, and that is because one, I started late. I started in February instead of starting in January, which is fine. It happens. And then also 2, I'm actually prioritizing getting stronger with my trainer right now before we really try to cut the weight. So I'm seeing very small losses in terms of pounds on my body, but I'm experiencing my body in such a vastly different way. So I need to be able to reflect that somewhere in this planner so that I don't feel so these numbers don't feel like I'm failing, because I'm really not. And I really feel super grateful. And this goal is going the best out of everything that I've been doing so far this year in quarter 1, which is why it's first. Honestly, I put it first because it was the most important thing on this list, and I'm quite happy about it. Then I have spiritual and personal growth. This is going okay. I have a few courses that I'm in, and I just want to finish all the coursework. It's just a lot of material, and I haven't been moving through it at the pace that I want to be moving through it, but there's still a lot of time. I have not a super regular spiritual practice, but I do have some semi-regular practices. I pull a tarot card every single day, so that's one aspect of my spiritual practice that I find really important to me. But there's a few other things that I just am not doing every day, sort of affirmation kind of based stuff or energy work kind of stuff. So I'm not doing that every day, but I do like the pace at which I'm moving. It's a bit slow, but it's not nothing, which is good. And then reading is going so badly. My goal was to read 2 books every single month, read 24 books by the end of the year, and I have not read a single book. So this one's going really, really badly. But I did, for Christmas, I did get a book subscription, a gift for a book subscription for a 6-month subscription, and I just started that. So I should get my first book from that in May. I'm hoping that'll sort of kick me into gear, and I will start reading a bit more. So that one's not going very well. These 2 are going okay. This one's going really, really well. So this is the quarterly planning page in the Sterling Ink Common Planner. There are pages for every single quarter. So in that video I mentioned where I fill out this planner for quarter 2, I populate this whole page. So go back to my channel and check that out and find that if you're curious how I'm going to be setting this up. What I was sort of doing last time was writing priorities and manifestations over here and then accomplishments over here. As you can see, I haven't done hardly any accomplishments writing or January and March. Just I didn't get to write priorities down, and that's fine. If you want to see me sort of try to do some reflecting, again, go check out that other video because I do a little bit of reflecting in there, but this wasn't really an active section for me this quarter. And I definitely want to change that. I'd love to know how you guys are using this page if you're in the Common Planner. Let me know down in the description box below because I think it's such a cool page and it's one of the reasons I bought this planner, but I didn't find a good way to use it. So I'm a little bit sad about that, I guess. Okay, now into the monthly section. So this was December. She gives you the December monthly. And this was basically just video planning and back planning. Not a lot to say about that. January, I didn't hardly use this at all during the month, but then I came back and decorated it afterwards and wrote some accomplishments down, and I think this looks pretty cute. February's, I tried something different that I think I liked. I think I like this minimal look a lot more than I like this. But if you guys have been around my channel before, you know that I really struggle with using the monthly sections of my planner. I'm just like I just don't think in this time frame of a month. So I find it really hard to use these sections because they don't really work for me. I do split my time for work into these 2-week sprints, which I have a video on my channel about that. So if you want to know more about how that works, but it's mostly for work. So I do think about my time in terms of like, what does my weekly schedule look like? And kind of what does my bi-weekly schedule look like? What does my 2-week schedule look like? So this was kind of helpful, and I like the way that it breaks up this page. But I was also like one part writing in plans that were upcoming, one part going back and trying to do my distraction log in here, one part like noting health stuff. I just don't really feel like it worked very well. And the same thing with March. This one looks a lot neater actually, which I really like, mostly because I made an effort to highlight the dates up at the top. I don't know if you can see the difference there, but I think highlighting the dates, I just did this with like my Zig Brushable, but highlighting the dates at the top just like makes so much more sense when you're looking at this because it helps you to scan. So I liked that a lot better, but in terms of what I'm going to do for April, I'm not quite sure yet. I am filming this video before I film my sort of like spring reset in my planner, that video I keep referencing. So this will have something in it, but I'm not quite sure. I think what I want to do for this next quarter is really use this as a pre-planning section, not a sort of post memory keeping section. I really just care about this in a pre-planning capacity, maybe a tracker here and there. I'm not really sure. Okay, so now we get into the weekly sections, which are kind of all over the place for me. In the beginning, I was really struggling with what I exactly wanted to do. This is sort of a memory keeping week from my winter break when I was with my family, and we just spent a long time there, and it was actually like really nice. Which was great. And then the weeks sort of get weird. This is just an experimental week where I'm trying a bunch of different things, and like I tried one thing on this side of the page, one thing on this side of the page. I hated both of it, and it just remains to be garbage. This week I was also trying something else, which sort of worked. I was kind of like ignoring the timeline and having my meetings and stuff up here, and then having my to-do list and tasks and stuff down here, split by work and personal. But it didn't really stick for me. This is a sample week. Sometimes I do this in my planners. I'll create like a sample weekly schedule as a template to see, sort of make sure I can fit all the essential things I have to do every single week in. And this week I wasn't doing anything, so I just chucked in a sample week in here just to see how it would work. And then this one, I remember I used this planner for half of the week here, and then just sort of copied over work and filming when I was filming. And that was fine. It wasn't lighting my fire for these couple of weeks in the beginning because I hadn't been in a vertical weekly in so long. I actually just like forgot how it best works and how to utilize it. I've really come to the conclusion that like the best thing to do is actually to use the timeline, at least loosely. For me, like ignoring the timeline like I did here just was more confusing than anything. So I actually have come to the conclusion that like we should be using the timeline, or I should be using the timeline when I'm using a vertical weekly. So that's what I did like going forward. And this was actually the week that it unlocked for me, which was great. I was starting intermittent fasting that week, which is what these sort of blocks are on the time, which are like just noting the times during the day that I am like feeding. It sounds so weird. Basically like I wanted to test out that system again. I've done it before, but I didn't really like give it my all. So this week I was just like trying it out and seeing if I liked tracking it in my planner, and it turns out I really did. I thought it was really fun. And then I was mostly doing like meetings and foods that I was eating, which worked pretty well, and then workouts that I was doing. So it worked pretty well. And then I kind of fell off of it this week. I was tracking sleep and weight, but like I think I got sick this week or something. I got sick sometime in February, and it really, really sucked. This week I was trying some other stuff, like trying to put tasks inside my sort of vertical daily and meetings and stuff, and that just didn't really work. But I did really still like setting up the week as a whole, because what happens for me is that like I put everything on my calendar, and then when it comes to like the Sunday before the week, I look ahead at my week and I put it all down in my weekly planner, and I'm like, okay, I have everything. I just like have a mental itinerary of what I'm gonna do. I've like burned it into my brain by rewriting it a second time, and it just helps me sort of consolidate all of that. So I really think that is the greatest value I've found in the weekly sections. Again, I'm trying here to like put in meetings and tasks, and I just hate the way it looks. I get into this more in the daily section, but I don't like the way it looks there. This was a pretty okay week. I tried just putting meetings in, and I thought it looked better, but it still wasn't perfect. I was trying some different things with my sidebar too, like trying to track what my workouts were, and I'm putting in more stickers, which sort of feels more like me, which feels nice. And then this is another week where I just feel like it was really good. I was like putting in little stickers, I was tracking my sleep, I had task lists. Yeah, I just feel like this one, like it may not look really good, but I had my shit really together this week. Another thing that I started doing, did I start doing this last week? Yeah, you can kind of see, okay, yeah. So this week and this week, I started doing my sort of blocks the way that Theory of Lauren does her blocks over on her channel. If you watch her videos, she's in a common planner right now too. I love her videos, so go check her out. She was in the Hobonichi Cousin and like always does this sort of like method in the Vertical Weekly, and I think it just looks actually so much better than just the arrows. The arrows make the column feel so small to me. It just feels like it boxes it in, and I don't like that. But the blocks actually make the column feel a little bit wider, which I really appreciate and I really like. So that's cool. So I really like doing that, and I keep doing it, as you can see. I continue to do it as the weeks go on. Here's another circumstance where I'm just like adding in stickers here and there, feeling a little bit more like myself. You can see I'm starting to track my workouts like actually in the weekly itself when I am doing them, which is kind of cool. I don't always get to these, so you'll see I make the difference the next week with putting my workouts up at the top, and that's just because like my day-to-day schedule actually changes a lot based on whether or not I'm in the office that like during a given day or what I have going on in the evening. So like I will just slot in a workout where I can. Sometimes that's like at lunch, or sometimes that's at the end of the day. Like for example, like this Friday, I had a budget meeting with my partner, and then I had a movie night after that. We had a date. So like my body weight exercise, that had to come in the morning or it had to be over my lunch. And if I was at, like, I wasn't in the office this day, but if I was in the office that day, I would have had to do it before work if I wanted to get it done. Usually when I have this much stuff going on in a given day, I actually will just like skip my workout for the day. But that's just an example of like why I put it up here, because sometimes depending on when I wake up or depending on how I'm feeling, it may or may not get actually put in a certain time slot or done at a certain time, or done at the time that I think it will get done. So that's sort of like why I like having them up at the top now. This sort of like kit that's being used, if you can call it that, basically just like these stickers and these two stickers are from Paperminty Studio. They're from like her like witch, these two are from her like witchy planner kit, and then these two are just washi strips from one of her washi sales. I got them. I think it looks cute, but honestly, like this color, like this sort of tan brownish color, I just stopped vibing on that. Like I went to gray and I actually love it. I know that this like tan color, this is the Tombow 992, which is everybody's favorite Tombow, and everybody loves the sort of like soft browns and the muted browns, but I don't know. I went to gray and I never want to go back. I don't care for this color anymore. So I actually look at this week and like it's more decorative and I like that, but I really do not care for the color scheme that I used. So I switch pretty immediately back to gray on this week, which is the current week. So this is sort of what I'm working with right now. As you can see, I am a little bit into April here. I'm going to be filming my April reset a little bit late this year just because that's the way that it worked out. But I really like this a lot better. These are also Paperminty Studio. It's from a washi tape or like PET tape that she has of just planner stuff. I really love the way that it looks. And then these are the same type of washi tape as the previous week, just a different color. And so it all feels a little bit cooler instead of like being so warm like this spread is. All feels a little bit cooler. I feel a little bit calmer, and I definitely have found my stride by now. I've put, you know, my workouts up at the top. I've put in the things that I need to be doing, like work and shows that I always will watch, like Survivor. Holler if you're watching Survivor in the comments. I freaking love that show. But besides that, this is like going pretty well, and I think this is how I'm going to be continuing to use them in the coming quarter. I think I will probably tweak just slightly, maybe where I'm tracking my sleep and then what I'm actually like logging, like if I want to do a time log more than I want to do just a general like, oh, I worked on this in the morning, whatever. So we'll see how that evolves, but pretty much this is the flow. And it took me a little while to get into it, but eventually we made it. I'm pretty happy with it. So on to the daily section. So the first thing I did in my daily section in December was I wanted to move into this planner so quickly. So I ended up just drawing my weeks, that last few weeks in December. I just drew them out. I didn't use all of them, but whatever. I left a page blank here for YouTube stats, thinking that I would be drawing out some of the analytics, but I never got to that. And honestly, I probably will not be using this page for that. I want to be able to visualize my analytics in some fashion, but I'm just getting by really quite fine looking at the native charts and stuff that YouTube has. So that's fine. Fine with me. This page is like a graveyard of video ideas that I have already done. I think I filmed all of these. There's a few of them that I haven't done. So this is like a graveyard for basically sticky notes and video ideas at this point. This sticky note right here that's probably blurred out in the edit is actually like a 2022 recap that I did, just briefly highlighting my biggest accomplishments for 2022. So I have that there because I didn't do like a big full reflection the way I wanted to, but at least I did something. So the next page is some journaling that I did. Actually, I did this in my video called Day One in Your New Planner. So if you're curious how I spent day one in this planner, go check that video out. Basically, I was just journaling about like where I was at the moment, what I was excited about for the 2023 year, all that kind of stuff. I did note under the sticky note that I had 8.5 thousand subscribers. That number has almost doubled since I wrote this on the 1st. I cannot believe that. And I love you guys so much. Like, thank you so much. It is really, truly phenomenal how much this channel has grown and how, you know, comfortable I feel like talking with you guys about like how my system is going and all of that kind of stuff. So really, really big thank you. I was also taking notes on this page about the getting things done method. I've tried to get into the getting things done method like a million different times, and I can't get past the trigger list, to be honest. I was actually listening to the audiobook when I made these notes, and I stopped listening to that. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm like kind of doing a combination of journaling and dailies. So I've said before on this channel that like dailies are really just not my thing. And as you can see, like in the weeks, I was trying to put in my tasks, you know, into certain days, like the things that I needed to do or the meetings that I was having. And that like really was not working on the weekly schedule. So I was like, okay, I gotta try dailies. I gotta try it. And so for a while I was doing pretty good. I journal in between there. Like I had some thoughts on my birthday. I did a quick tarot pull. I got the Knight of Swords RX. Actually showed me, I learned a lot from that card. Really happy with that. But I'm sort of like mixing journaling and work, and it doesn't like look exactly how I want it to look at first. But I keep trying. I sort of split up the pages into this sort of 2-column spread. There are these little, very teeny tiny, I'm not even sure if you can see that, very teeny tiny dots at the bottom of each page and at the top of each page in this planner, and that sort of divides the page vertically rather. And so what I was trying to do on this page was like do tasks and stuff on one side and then do like random notes, sort of light commonplacing. I don't really commonplace at this time, although I'd like to try sort of light notes I was taking on other stuff on the right side, and you'll see me replicate that over and over again. Occasionally I do it reverse, like this is on the left side, that kind of stuff. I was writing different quotes down in my planner, stuff like that. I was outlining some videos here, which I posted already, so go check out my channel if you want to watch those. Oh, also, I should have said, a lot of the stickers you're seeing, so like these ones are from the washi tape shop. It's actually a PET tape. So I actually have a code for the washi tape shop. It's Rachelle 10. If you want to get 10% off on washi tapes, just go check that out, please. But also like these little girl stickers are from Rabbit Hole Handcraft. I've obviously got some Coffee Monsters Co. in here. This is from Sweet Freckle Design. It was Caffeine and Paper Co. Sweet Freckle Design now. So a variety of stickers, but I usually stick to a couple character stickers and a couple washi stickers. Okay, this is when I started changing what my bullets looked like. So I used to just do no bullet, no anything over here on the side, and I would just do check marks. And then I switched it up to doing little squares, which are actually like a product of this ruler. These little squares right here. I just line them up to my tasks and sort of do that motion. But then I switched to doing that, but fully filling them in if they were done. And I loved this method. It just unlocked everything for me. Another thing I switched around this part in my planner was I started putting my meetings up at the top as like checklists. I was using the sort of like circle icon in the ruler. I don't know if you can tell that. But that is for my meetings, and then the checkbox is for my task list. And this is mostly for work, but occasionally personal stuff does intersect, whatever. Just taking some more notes here on like altar and ritual spaces. Yeah, same thing here, doing my task list, some quotes, some note taking. This is also Rabbit Hole Handcraft. Her stuff is so freaking cute. This page I really liked. I was doing like taking some notes on making smoothies, on skin cycling, and then on different types of working, like attracting, repelling, sustaining, and how you need to do those all the time in your energy practice. So that was cool. And I like the way that this is integrating, because it really is the way that my brain works. A lot of times I'll be like doing perfectly normal tasks for work, and then I'll be like, oh my God, you know what I have to get out of my brain? All the different vegetables that I could put in a smoothie. And so I need a place to just dump that list that's accessible and that's like right there. And so this really does work for my brain, like splitting the page up in sort of columns and then sometimes horizontally to just dump pieces of information. That really, really has been helping. Oh, and these are Papershire Studios as well, the little bunnies. This was some more spiritual class notes, some more to-do lists, and then I have my glow up April game plan. So if you're curious about my life, you can pause to read if you want. Basically, I was like, okay, what should I do this April? Because actually this April, like I'm on kind of like semi-lockdown. I just have a lot of family members who are like, they have pre-existing conditions, and so they're hypersensitive to COVID, who are getting like health procedures done. So I kind of need to go back into lockdown to better support them. And so I was like, I have a lot of time since I'm not going to be doing anything outside of the house. So what can I get done from this game plan? So I made a game plan for April. I don't know if I'm going to get all of it done, but I made a game plan. And then I started writing out the things I want to do for that glow up. So this is my glow up task list. I think the things I'm most interested in are skincare, which I did start skin cycling, which has been really nice, actually. I feel like my skin has looked really, really good. And then also like some stylish stuff that I want to do, basically cleaning out my closet, figuring out what actual kibby body type thing I feel like I am, and building that in. I have a number of self-care routines that need to be accomplished every week, and I'm going to be formulating that into like an ideal weekly schedule at some point, so we'll see. This week was the same week that I was using the Papermint Tea Studios kit that I like didn't love. It was this week, and again, like the kit is beautiful. It's just for some reason the colors, I'm not interested in those colors right now. I just do not care for them, and I really don't care for the sort of like visual effect that this is giving. It just kind of like makes me a little ill to like look at it. I just really don't like the colors. I don't know, but I switched back to my grays over here on this side, and I love it. This is like the color scheme that I want to be in general. I was doing more notes, some like productivity notes over here, and then task lists here. These are all Papermint Tea Studios. This is actually from a winter kit that I just like had lying on my desk, and I used like all the cutest, winteriest stickers already. So I just had like these left over, and I was like, you know what, whatever. A little bit of hot chocolate in April never hurt anybody. And then more of that washi tape from Papermint Tea Studios. This following week, some April restart notes for my video that I have already posted by the time this goes up. And then also just doing some tasks. And I tried to split up this page into almost like a Hobonichi cousin layout, which has a smaller section here on the left and a larger section here on the right. I was just kind of feeling it out. I don't know if I really like it. I kind of prefer the two columns because it gives you more space to write your task lists, but I'm going to try this for a few weeks and we'll see how it goes. So that'll probably be how the next couple pages take shape. But yeah, that is my planner for Q1. If you haven't seen the video already where I go over what I'm planning for Q2, please take a look at my channel or in the description, and I will have that linked because I'm really enjoying this and I really want to set Q2 up for success to make it just like a good year. You know what I mean? So anyways, go take a look at that. I hope you guys liked this video. I hope it gave you guys some inspiration for using your own planners, or at the very least, you liked spending time with me and hanging out with me today. If you want to stay on this wavelength, there's a video somewhere here on the screen that will probably be fun for you to watch. Or you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Rachelle in Theory over there. I mostly post fun memes. So go follow me over there for the lulz and the occasional cute planner pic. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate all of you guys who have been with me since my subscriber count like doubled in January, and then also since the beginning, and also since freaking last week. You guys are so awesome. I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.